So, smartwatches have gotten a little bit boring, to be honest with you. But finally, there's something new out, and, well, kinda. At least it's different. So, let's get started with this, which is the Watch 5. Let's begin with the more traditional specs that were updated in this model. First of all, you got new aesthetics. This looks very similar to another watch Huawei had a couple of years ago, which was the Space. I really wanted to try that watch when it was launched. I only could see it on exhibition, but this one is pretty similar. It looks very elegant and actually makes it feel quite premium. There is a little bit of a downside. If you're looking straight up towards the light, there's a little bit more of glare compared to other smartwatches that are completely flat, but I don't consider this being a deal breaker, and I actually really don't mind it. You get used to it after a couple of days of using it. So, looks pretty nice to me and pretty elegant with this new design. Also, the screen is new on this watch. You get an AMOLED LTPO with a max brightness of 3000 nits, which is awesome if you're going to use it on the beach, exteriors, whatever you want to do. Do be aware you can only get those 3000 nits if you use automatic brightness on this watch. You can't just put the brightness all the way up and that will mean you have 3000 nits. No, 3000 nits will do it automatically only when you need it. The operating system is also Harmony OS. It's pretty snappy, very responsive. Obviously also for this new display, LTPO AMOLED displays are pretty responsive, but also the processor that this has inside, as well as Harmony OS, which is the OS of this watch. It's very, very polished. This finally feels like a very premium version of Huawei watches because a lot of them were very nice, pretty cool, had a lot of battery life, but some of them didn't feel as snappy or responsive compared to maybe Samsung or Apple's options. But this is very good and is probably up to pair with those watches, or in some cases, maybe even better, because the haptic response on this is very, very cool. The vibrations are very smooth and feel extremely premium compared to other versions from these watches. So remember, this is the Watch 5, not the GT 5 Pro. That was launched before the Watch 5, which is technically the regular version. Huawei is kind of weird in that aspect. So, pretty premium, good operating system, very nice screen, and also very good haptic response. But none of this really sounds new because you still have a heart rate sensor, you still have an oxygen sensor, you still have an ECG sensor, which is electrocardiogram sensor, I believe. But there is something new on this watch, and it's actually on the side, and it's called XTAP. It's a brand new sensor you can find on these watches, and it's right here. And the main purpose of this sensor is for you to have a complete overview of your health to a glance. You just press on that sensor, it will count to 3 and will tell you what to do after that. It'll give you a couple of tests which you have to perform, some of them using this sensor, some of them not, and compares everything you do and give you a full report of your health. For example, if you press the sensor, it'll give you your HRV, I believe. Remember, I'm not a doctor. If I'm saying this wrong, it's because I'm a tech reviewer, but I believe that what it does is actually tell you whether your arteries are stiff or not, which they're not supposed to, and if they are, maybe consult your doctor. Also take into account, none of this is medically graded. You don't have to always believe what your smartwatch says. It's only there to guide you in case it detects something weird. So always consult your physician if you want to make sure you're completely fine. So it's just to give you a glance of your health. Also, there's another test which is different and kind of weird, where you have to cough straight into the watch. Yes, it asks you to cough multiple times to give you a general overview of how your lung health is, which, I mean, is great. I mean, I've never seen a watch do something like that. It's kind of weird to do it in public. I don't recommend you do it in public, and still, you're not supposed to, because you're supposed to be in a quiet, calm environment while you perform all these tests. Ideally, when you're at home relaxing and maybe want to worry a bit to see if you're okay, well, that's where you perform these tests. So technically, it's a new sensor, but again, technically, it's giving you reports that did exist previously. So there's not really like a new health measurement. This doesn't give you your blood pressure because it doesn't have the integrated things which the Huawei Watch D does. That's actually a very special watch, which will tell you what your blood pressure is. So if you're interested in that, look for something called the Huawei Watch D2. And if you want a review, let me know. I can ask for that watch and review it for you guys because I think it is different and it's pretty interesting. That type of thing is the type of thing that maybe in an extreme scenario could actually save your life. This also, I mean, it will tell you if it detects something weird. Again, don't be completely confident on this watch. If you feel weird, even if this is telling you you're completely fine, always go to your doctor, please. But obviously, with all this new tech, with this new screen, new operating system, very improved haptics, and the new sensor, well, there's always going to be a counterpart, right? Well, Huawei watches have always been known for the killer battery life they have. Most of them give you between 15 and 10 days of regular use. Yes, not battery saving. You can get a lot of battery life depending on the model. That's what Huawei watches have always been known by. This one can give you a max of only 11 days. And before you say, well, it's only 4 days for the new sensor, I think it's great. No. It can give you 11 days on battery saving mode. If you want to use it, regular use, maybe always on display on, also maybe having an eSIM, because yes, I forgot to mention, this is also compatible with eSIM, which is new for Huawei. Well, you're going to get a max of 7 days. And to be completely honest with you, I'm a power user. I do use watches a lot. I do get a lot of notifications. I try to work out a lot. I'm just bragging. Really not that big. I mean, I'm not even that tall. But I do a lot of exercise to try these things out. Well, I was getting about 6 days. So again, it's not bad. It's a lot better than what you get on Apple and Samsung. Also, maybe even some other Android devices, but it's not the best battery life that Huawei has made, because their own devices have put a pretty high bar up to battery life. I think they're the best I've tried of all brands, even Amazfit, which was quite extreme with the T-Rex, but I think Huawei Watch was a little bit better still. One of the best battery lives out there, and you don't get that with this brand new model. There's that small caveat. So depending who you are, if you're buying these watches only for the battery life, this specific model may not be for you. But if you're buying these watches for performance, working out, and also having a little bit more information and detailed information about your health, this might be a great option. I mean, the X-Tap is a nice touch. It's a lot more precise than previous versions. I did notice it's also a lot faster. I mean, you get those 7 tests a lot faster than what you would get in the very first Huawei watches. And I also like a lot the feeling you get with the new haptics on this watch. So overall, it's a very premium feeling watch. That's why I would have it if you want to work out with it and just get a little bit more info about your health. Now the price, what do you have to pay for something like this? Well, it's not that cheap. You're going to pay, depending where you live, about $450, which again is not the cheapest. And I can understand a lot of people saying, well, for that amount of money, I'll get X or Y watch. And yes, but again, this is a different option. I can understand the price because of the development they have on it. I can see the improvements they've done compared to other generations. And also, you have to take into account, if you buy it in the official Huawei website, well, constantly they have these crazy deals where you can get 2 for the price of 1. Sometimes they give you a pair of headphones and a phone. I mean, depending again where you live. If you live in the US, I'm sure that's not the case. I don't even know if you guys can actually purchase them over there straight from the Huawei website. Probably not, right? Please drop a comment below and let me know. But if you can, I'm going to look for them in Amazon, because sometimes in the US, you can buy them through Amazon, and I will drop a link below so you can purchase them there in case you're interested. But would I buy this watch for the price? I think it's a good value. Depending who you are, I like the design now that I tried it. And I would say yes, there are different colors, there are different versions. There's this blue one, which the case is actually titanium, by the way. There's also a black version of this exact model. And there's also like a silverish gray, completely full of titanium one. Even the straps are titanium. So I think that's the nicest one. I think also it's a little bit more expensive, again, depending where you live. But this blue one, I think, is the sweet spot. It's a different color, and I actually like it a lot. But the most important thing here is, what do you guys think? Would you buy this watch? Not bad. And you know what also is not bad? I believe this channel. If you're new around here, well, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. It always helps us out quite a bit. And maybe check out this video over here, which I think you might like as well.